G'day folks, welcome back to another episode of Stuff and Such. We are back on the 279 cutditioner, and we're as you saw in the last video we left off, we're struggling mightily with that bearing, and unfortunately what happened is that, well, I got extremely frustrated and it dragged on for probably a 6-hour process, but we did eventually win. But at which point we run out of batteries, we run out of filming stuff and all that good nonsense, all the juicy stuff, you know. So we left off, we busted my puller. So what I did, and I'm amazed it even worked, is I went in here, I welded her all back up, and it actually held, which is amazing. Next thing I did is I took the collar, I don't have one, hang on, and the next thing I did is I took the old collar that I had, slipped it over the shaft, and I had just a hair of the shaft sticking out past, or just had a bit, the shaft was just inside the collar a little bit. So I put a flat across the face and I drove it with the sledge, and it moved probably 30 thou, so it broke it up a little bit. I then tried the puller again, got it to the point where I was afraid I was going to snap it, back off, and then I did this, and I don't know if it was the winning ticket or not, but I took a zip cut and very carefully went on all four sides as deep as I possibly could. And then, once I did that, I put the puller back on it, tightened the dickens out of it, and then cracked it with a hammer, and then she popped. And it sounded like a gunshot went off. Torqued her back up again hard, and then she popped again. It was just moving ever so slightly. It was pretty intense. But we got it off, and that's that. So then I pulled off all the cutters out of it. That's them laying right there, all laid out. And the rods are laying up against the fence there. I have a guy working for me that was helping me a bit, and I don't know if he's comfortable with me filming, so I didn't really film any of that stuff. So we'll try and get some footage as we assemble it. That'll be enough to figure it out. So we got all the cutters off, and this is sort of our dilemma. We have short cutters, we have broken cutters, we have more broken cutters, we have cutters that are almost good enough, and ideally, if I lived in the United States, I would contact, what are they, flail knives or something. I think that's their website, and they're about, I think, $9 a pop. And I would just say screw it and buy all new cutters and go from there. But I live in Canada and I haven't found any in Canada. The one company that will ship, the two companies that will ship me, one that's $300 freight charge, which I guess you can sort of understand because they do add up to be kind of heavy and big. And the other one is $15 a cutter, and I haven't even priced them for freight, but when you have 40 cutters, you start getting into pretty substantial costs. So what I did, or I'm gonna try, and if it fails miserably, well, shame on me. Usually being cheap does, but sometimes you score a win. So here's what I'm gonna attempt to do. I found this one, it's my shortest cutter, although it's not straight. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna build a jig, scribe straight line on it, cut them all off so they're all the same length. And once I have them all these cut off, I had these plates cut up for me. Probably could have gone a little longer, but not much. So they're 1 3/4 by 5 5/8. And the idea is I'll cut them all off and then weld new teeth on them. Something sort of like that. I won't have as much swoop. And the idea will be I'll just put it on my table, sort of like so. So you can sort of see on the other one, on the original one, there's actually less sweep upwards than I would have figured. However, there is some. So what I'm going to plan on doing here is I'm going to weld something. So I'm going to use this as my straight edge. That's how much we got to come straight. Use that as my straight edge, this face here. And then I might weld a little something, I'm not sure what. Maybe something like that. And that'll give it plenty of hook. So that's enough yapping. Now it's time to get going. So what I'm trying to do here is find something I can easily repeat fairly quick. I think we found it. Bottom it out in the vise. Clamp it in. And scribe along and across. Like so. Well, here we go. So my rod's a little damp, so she's kind of a bit sticky, but that's just excuses. So we'll go ahead and put our stop block in. Okay, so we got our stop block in. And then we'll so now we got our two little stops in now.
Can you put this on me?
I don't think it's working anymore, hon.
It will. But you have to put it high.
Oh.
It got lost. I know. Gotta keep it safe. Thank you.
You're welcome. Alright folks, that's pretty well what we're aiming for. Enough curvature. I don't think I actually told you, well guys, what this plate is. It's not just mild steel, in case some nosy Ned was wondering. Although I don't know what his properties are after being plasma cut, but this is actually AR400, which should technically stop bullets. They use it for shooting gongs. It's still fileable after where it's been plasma cut, so it may not have the same same properties. Might have probably lost its heat treat. As for this stuff, it also is fairly soft too. You can still file it, no problem. So this the AR400 should have some pretty good wearing properties. That's what I'm hoping for. So anyways guys, I'm not going to bore you to death with doing 40 of these welding things. It's boring enough myself, so I'm going to say call her quits on this one. We've accomplished what we want to. Next video we'll be installing them. Anyway guys, thanks for watching and stay tuned for the next ones.